Hello students, I Astha Verma, Assistant Professor, Siravatpura Sarkar Institute of Pharmacy. Welcome you all to SRIP Edu Pharma channel. Today we will be discussing hospital organization and its structure, which is a part of syllabus of pharmacy practice of B.Pharm 7th semester. In our present presentation, I will be explaining what is hospital, functions of hospital, classification of hospitals, which is on the basis of healthcare, on the basis of ownership, on the basis of objectives, on the basis of system of medicines, on the basis of size, on the clinical basis and non-clinical basis. We will also going to understand the organization structure of hospital, which consists of nursing services, inpatient services, outpatient services, central supply services, hospital pharmacy services, medical record services, store services and miscellaneous services. So let's start with the introduction of hospital. Now first let's understand what hospital is. The word hospital is derived from the Latin word hospitalis, which in turn is derived from French word hosps, that means a host or a guest. Now let's see the definition of hospital. So a hospital is a complex organization or an institution of community health which makes use of physicians, surgeons and team of technical staff, which provides facilities for diagnosis, therapy, rehabilitation, prevention, education and research. So dear students, hospital is what? Hospital is an organization or an institution which makes use of physicians, surgeons and other qualified staff such as nurses, pharmacists and technicians, which provide us the facilities of diagnosis, prevention of any individual from diseases. So thus hospital is an integral part of social and medical organization, the function of which is to provide the population with complete health care in both curative and preventive way. Now let's understand the functions of hospital. Before this, we understood what a hospital is. A hospital is an organization where medical staff and other qualified staff such as nurses, pharmacists and other technical staff, they all work together for the prevention of disease and promotion of health awareness. They helps in the diagnosis and the treatment of diseases, and they also helps in lowering the incidence of diseases through early detection and treatment. Hospital also helps in the outpatient services, and it provides inpatient care. And if it has medical institute attached to it, where the student studies at graduate and postgraduate level, so it helps in the medical education and research and training. It also maintains clinical administrative records and reports. It initiates, utilizes and participates in research projects. So we can say that in a hospital we not only have medical staffs, but we have the people from other allied branches of sciences who work together as a team, and they participate in research projects and carry out the various etiology of carry out the research project in knowing the various etiology of the disease and in making the proper treatment and utilizing the proper medicines on the basis of clinical records and clinical reports, so that the individuals or the patients can be prevented from any and cured from any disease. Now before heading towards a classification, let us first understand what are hospital services available. Every hospital have medical staff responsible for all medical care to be provided to the patients as per the ethical conduct and professional practices. The medical staff may be further subdivided into staff of different clinical divisions based on the degree of specialization. Some of the divisions are medicine divisions: cardiology, nephrology, pulmonary, infectious diseases, geriatrics, immunology, pediatrics, etc. We have surgery division, in which it is general surgery, gynecology, orthopedics, ophthalmologist, dental and oral surgery, nephrology and cardiosurgery. So apart from medical staffs of specialization, we have associated medical services also. Such associated medical services are pathology and clinic, biochemistry services, radiology, blood bank, medical social service department. So these are the other medical services which forms the integral part of a hospital. Now apart from this, we have supportive paramedical services. Hospital is not only a clinical department, but it also provides a number of supportive paramedical services such as the nursing department, dietary services, laboratory services, medical records department, the blood bank, the central sterile pharmaceutical services and social services. So these all departments, they all work collaborative for achieving preventive and curative services to the patients. Now let's discuss the classification on the basis of healthcare. On the basis of healthcare, hospital is divided into primary care, secondary care and tertiary care. Primary care, it consists of basic curative care including simple diagnosis and treatment provided at the point of entry into the healthcare system. It consists of general practice or it may be a dental clinic, or it may be a medical clinic, community health centers and allied health practices which usually go for this simple diagnosis and treatment to get rid of any health issues. It promotes good health and it prevents health problems. So it is a primary care which is availed by the patients at the initial state of diagnosis and treatment. In a secondary care, what happens in a secondary care? The case which are not handled by the primary care, which could not be handled by the primary care, is given to the secondary care treatment. Now the secondary care consists of specialized care requiring more sophisticated and complicated diagnosis and treatment than is provided at the primary health care. So secondary health care is the specialist treatment and support provided by doctor and other health professionals for patients who have been referred them for specific expert, most of provided in hospitals, it includes wide range of specialists such as cardiologists, nephrologists, gynecologists, pediatrics and obstetricians. So these are the specialized treatment which is to be provided at for a specific disease which is done by the which is done at the secondary care. Now comes the tertiary care. So tertiary care is a specialized consultative health care usually for inpatients. So please note that it is usually for the inpatients and are referred from primary or the secondary health professional in a facilities has advanced medical investigation and treatment such as neurosurgery, cardiac surgery. So this type of treatment, it requires highly specialized equipment and expertise. So this is what tertiary care is. So from the definition, it can be said that it consists of highly specialized diagnostic and therapeutic services which can usually only be provided in centers specifically designed, staffed and equipped for the purpose. Now the hospitals can also be classified on the basis of ownership and control. On the basis of ownership and control, it is divided into government and non-government hospital. Government hospital consists of public hospitals. These hospitals are run by central or the state government, local bodies and public sector undertaking. The hospitals are purely service organization and non-profit making hospitals. Examples are civil hospitals. Now non-government hospital is divided into voluntary hospitals, nursing homes and corporate homes. Voluntary hospitals, these hospitals are registered under the Societies Act or Public Trust Act. They are run by the trust and on non-commercial basis. Examples are the charitable hospitals. Nursing homes, these are generally owned and managed by individual doctors. These hospitals generally do not admit cases of medical legal importance, and the patient care services are usually provided in some of the specialties of medicine. Some of the nursing homes provide only maternity care. Some hospitals may provide tertiary care in some super specialties like cardiology and nephrology, etc. Now, next is the corporate hospital. These hospitals are run on the basis of profitable earning and are registered under companies. Examples are the Hinduja Hospital, Apollo Hospital. Now, next is the classification of hospitals on the basis of objectives. On the basis of objectives, the hospitals are divided into general hospital, specialty hospital, teaching hospital, and isolation hospital. Now, what is this general hospital? So, these hospitals usually provide medical care in more than one broad specialty, and there is no strict departmentation. Specialty hospital, hospital providing medical care usually in one or more specialty like TB hospital, eye hospital, heart centers, nephrology, etc. These are the specialty hospitals. Teaching hospitals, usually these hospitals are attached to the medical college, and the isolation hospitals are the hospitals providing patient care to the communicable diseases. It is like TB, and now we are well acquainted with the COVID. So these are all represent the isolated hospitals. Hospitals are also divided on the basis of system of medicines. Other than allopathic medicines, we have Ayurvedic formulations, homeopathy formulations. So hospitals are divided according to the system of medicines as allopathic hospital, Ayurvedic hospital, Unani hospital, Siddha hospital, and homeopathy hospital. Next classification of the hospital is based on the basis of size. So on the basis of size, it is divided into very small hospitals in which the beds are less than 100. Now next comes the small hospital in which the beds are between 100 to 500, medium hospitals in which the beds are between 500 to 1000, and large hospital which consists of beds above 1000. Next classification is on the basis of clinical and non-clinical basis. On the clinical basis, again the hospitals are divided into medicine, surgery, and maternity. On medicine, it is further divided as pediatric, psychiatric and nervous diseases, tuberculosis hospital, and general medicine hospital. In surgery, it is orthopedic, gynecology, and ENT. In maternity hospital, it is further divided into short-term and long-term hospitals. Now, on non-clinical basis, it is divided into two: government and non-government. In the government, it includes army hospitals, navy hospitals, city hospitals, civil hospitals, and organization like AIIMS. In non-government part, it includes private hospitals, church hospitals, charitable hospitals, missionary hospitals, and the community hospitals. Now let's discuss the organization of hospital. So first let us understand what does organization terms means. Organization in term is a process in which various managerial activities bring people together and put them together for the achievement of common objectives or common goals. In the case of organization of hospital, the primary goal is to provide preventive and curative care to the patient. So the most important body of any hospital is the governing body or board of directors or board of trustees. It comprises of various eminent personalities in the field of medical education, research, and administration. The governing body is responsible for all major policies, plans, and programs of any hospitals. So various committees are appointed by the governing body. It appoints like a hospital administrative to get the various functions performed like clinical services, nursing services, pharmacy services, So through our slide we have taken the common organization of the hospitals which are followed. First, it consists of governing bodies of trustees, and then various committees are formed by this by the governing body of trustees, and the committees which are framed by the governing body of trustees are executive committee, finance committee, development committee, and the public relation committee. So this they are all responsible for major policies making, plans and program to run the hospital. Now the hospital administration is now divided into central supply services, outpatient services, ambulatory services, nursing services and pharmacy services. So these are the department which run the hospital in a smooth way, so that the patient care is fulfilled and is achieved as a primary goal. So now let's discuss step by step what is central supply services, what is outpatient or ambulatory services, nursing services and pharmacy services. Now first comes the nursing services. As we all know, the nurses are the very much important and integral part of the hospital services. So this department is the largest and an important part of any hospital, as it functions for all the 24 hours. Nursings are assigned a specific number of beds. Nurses have to give personal attention to the patients. They are trained for prenatal care, observation, comfort of patient during labor, during surgery. So the nursing director is the in charge of nursing services. Now let's discuss inpatient services. So inpatient are the patients who stay overnight or for several days or weeks for diagnosis, treatment and therapy. So these patients require continuous medical care and attention. The patients are given the facilities for lodging, medical and nursing care. In case of inpatient services, they are always monitored by by the specialized medical staff, and or for the disease cure they have been admitted. They are monitored by the specialized team, which consists of the specialized physicians, nurses and technicians, and they are taken care day and night so that they can get rid of the disease. Now let's discuss the outpatient services. So the outpatient services, it focus on the comfort for outpatient as they approach for illness. This services make hospital an ideal community institution. Hospital is duty bound to provide diagnostic, preventive and curative measures to the outpatients. Central supply services, it refers to medical and surgical supply services. It is meant for diagnosis, treatment, prevention, education and research. It involves their collection, processing, storage and issuance against proper indent form. Qualified and skilled staff personnel are responsible for its maintenance. Now let's discuss hospital pharmacy services. Hospital pharmacy services controls the pharmacy operation in any hospital. This department fills prescription and dispenses number of requisitions from the wards. Its functions begin with the procurement of drugs and finishes with their distribution to outpatient and inpatients. It is responsible for proper drug delivery, information system, storage of drugs, manufacturing, sterilization and for advising the physicians on drug use. Now let's discuss the medical record services. Medical records are the valuable reference material as they help medical and paramedical staff for evaluation. They are also used for education, training and research. They contain history of patients, laboratory test reports, physical examination and physician advice. Therefore, they should be stored properly so that they are accessible when required. Next is the store services. Stores generally receive, store and issue the materials against requisition forms of various departments and wards. Hospitals, which is a large organization, has many stores, like it has medical store, store of general items, surgical stores, etc. So they also maintain a buffer stock of certain articles and life-saving drugs. They are also made available in these stores. So beside the above mentioned services of the hospital, there are also other miscellaneous services which are aimed for the overall benefit and patient care. It includes dietary services, ambulatory services, laundry services, transport services, and library services. Now, the expected questions from hospital organization and its structures are: first, what is hospital? Classify hospitals, give the organization, its management system and health delivery system. Second, classify hospitals and discuss the functions in detail. Third, give detailed classification of hospitals, explain its organization and structure. Fourth, discuss in detail management of health delivery system. If you go thoroughly through these slides, you will be able to answer all these questions. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe our channel SRIP Edu Pharma.